Well, hello Rotarians and Patriots, and thank you very much, Mr. Reddy, for inviting me over. It was a great pleasure to come and see your group today. My name is Bill Escoffery, and the family name is a little difficult. My mother's name was Smith, but the world being set up the way it is, I took Dad's name, and that's Escoffery. And if you think of a cough, I'm a physician, so let's put an S before the cough, and you get Escoffery, and it's Escoffery. And my website is senatebill.us. I'm going to try and just focus this. This is not the normal speech that I give. You know, it's all very rah-rah when I get up in front of the crowd. But you're serious citizens. And I just wanted to touch on some of the important problems that trouble our country at this time, and that bring a person like myself out of my medical office with no experience as a politician to come and run for an elected office against people who have $11 million and $17 million and so forth. In another race, there's a gentleman named Rick Scott who spent $15 million of his own money in the first 3 months on TV advertising alone. That's one of the problems with America, is that there is a dearth of citizen politicians. Our country was never designed to run this way. I think the congressional term of 2 years sort of tells you what they had in mind, is that someone should leave the farm or their other work endeavors and go to Washington, serve for a couple of years, maintain their contact with the real people, and then go back to their work at the end of that. Today you have like Charlie Rangel, who are in D.C. for 40 years. And I think that's not the way the system works.
Is there something we can...
Maybe I should back up a little. Do you get that? Good. So this threat that America faces today is what brings a person like me out to fight. And I was talking to Bill. Bill had the same problem in his race that I have, is that we have to finance these things ourselves. But it's okay. I'm secondary. This is not about me. This is about America and the harm that the people in D.C. intend to do us at this time. So my background is that I'm a physician with 40 years of experience as a doctor, practicing even now as we speak in Fort Walton Beach. And I'm also an attorney. I went to law school on the side to about 20 years ago, mainly to protect myself from attorneys in the malpractice arena. But that was very good for me, because as a citizen from a foreign country, it allowed me to study constitutional law and come to understand the founding mechanisms, maneuvers, principles, and all the beliefs that brought this country to pass. That was the best thing I could ever have done. The second best thing I could do, especially in terms of what's happening today, is to come here as a legal immigrant. One of the problems is that we get mixed up between two things. America is powerful and strong because it's founded on people that took a lot of trouble to come here from foreign countries. Legal immigrants that came here built this country into the great nation that it is today. But we get confused with these illegals that are threatening our economy at this time and our safety. And it's very hard for people like yourself who've been born here it's politically incorrect often for you to get up and criticize the immigration disaster that we face. So I think probably the second important thing I have to bring to this is that as a legal, naturalized citizen, I can get up and maybe say the things that you'd like to say in an even more vociferous way. And I'll tell you this. I came here 35 years ago with a medical degree. I came over the Detroit Bridge on the 4th of July, 1975. And as I say, when I came into this country, I had that degree in my hand. I was bringing an asset to America. And I didn't come here for handouts. I came here to create my very own American dream. It turned out just fabulously. And I'm going to insist, if I go to D.C., that every one of those people does it my way. That is, crosses our border legally. We have got to deal with this problem that is bringing crime and drugs into America, straining our social services, and teaching people, if we give them automatic citizenship as the government wants to do now, teaching them that there is a prize as a citizen for doing something illegal. How can your first lesson as a citizen be that you get treasure for coming in illegally? We can't do that. So I'm going to oppose that 100%. I'm also going to oppose the health bill, which we don't have time to discuss it all here today, but I can assure you that it is one of the worst things that could have happened to people of my age and even the younger generation. It's going to deny health care to our older citizens. It's going to give free health care to these illegal aliens that are coming in here. It's going to give benefits to people in inner city Indianapolis who don't want to work for a living. And it's ultimately going to bankrupt the country because we cannot afford it. So far we've heard that it costs $1.15 billion more than was advertised before it passed, and the cost is now over $8 trillion. The latest news, ladies and gentlemen, is that last week, I think it was, you got a CMMS, that is person in charge of Medicare and Medicaid, a czar that Mr. Obama appointed as a recess appointment, who is a socialist. And he is on the record with recorded speeches in favor of health care rationing. Now, I have to tell you, Obama said there would be no health care rationing. He said our taxes would be going up. And I hate to say this, but on all of these issues, he has absolutely lied to the American public. And now America is waking up and seeing this, and we have got to fight back. Because what you're facing in D.C. at this time is a determined attempt to bring this country to its knees financially and economically, and weaken us politically, so that we cannot continue to assume our rightful place of primacy in the world. Let me just show you a few things. Number one, the TARP. It's true that Republicans started that, but it came to fruition under Obama. Number two, cash for clunkers. Number three, the health care, which, as I'm telling you now, is over $1 trillion. And number four, this cap and trade that's pending, which is going to be a transfer of our wealth to third world nations because we are using carbon residue fuels. When you take that package and you put it together with the debt that we already have, I'm here to tell you that even the Chinese no longer want to buy our money. We have fiat currency that's not backed by any gold or anything like that. The outcome of this is like it was in Hitler's Germany after World War II, where you took a wheelbarrow of paper money down to the store to get a loaf of bread. That's where we're going. When you see what has happened to the economy, he hasn't created any jobs other than the people who are going around taking up the census. These jobs are all going away now, and we're going into probably a double-dip recession. You haven't seen the end of it yet. This is going to be one of the most awful economic situations that we have ever seen, and we cannot pay back our debt. I have two kids, 23 and 20. As it stands, I think on the basis of health care alone, each of them owes $100,000. I mean, we just can't do it. Now, when you put that together with what he has done politically and in our foreign affairs, total disaster for America as we know it. He has stopped the Israelis from taking out that Iranian problem. He goes to Saudi Arabia, bows down to the king of Saudi Arabia, because he himself, one of the things people don't understand about Obama, he is a Sunni Muslim. And therefore he has no problem taking out the Shiite Muslims, but he is allegiant to the Sunni-based in places like Saudi Arabia. He bows down to these people. Can you believe last week I heard that NASA has an affirmative action program for Muslims? What the heck happened to getting to Mars? I don't understand this at all. You have a man named Eric Holder, who is in the Department of Justice, who refuses to prosecute any black on white illegalities. You have these Black Panthers, they had a case against them, they totally dropped it. Now, I'm not a racist because I come from Jamaica and many of the people I know are colored people. But we have to have racial equality in this country and not unfairness and quotas like we do. And we can't have a man at the Department of Justice who gave a Mark Rich pardon under Clinton and who is dedicated to promoting his law firm, by the way, defended pro bono, which as you know means free of charge, many Islamic terrorists who have been prosecuted in this country. This is a disaster. I heard